Hey, welcome to Hold on one second. Hey, welcome to... Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Hey, welcome to Sadsoul Advice Club. My name's Mitch.
And my name is Christian.
Yeah!
All right, let's get ready for take two.
Anybody remember this? A Christian classic. No one can see, but we are all dancing.
We're vibing.
To this song from many, many years ago.
Another song lost
To the Sands of Time.
to the sands of time. And
Beautiful
dust.
intro by Christian Novelli.
Thank you
Beautiful
very much.
intro by Christian
I have no
Fox
idea
Academy.
where that song is.
Where it even came from. Welcome to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
My name's Billy.
My name is Amanda.
My name is Christian.
There we go. Welcome, Amanda and Christian, to our beloved, and can we all agree beautiful?
Beautiful.
Home.
I thought you were going to say podcast.
I was going to say beautiful home. I was
Yeah.
thinking before we started recording, I was going to call it a beautiful home.
Well, a podcast is a home of sorts.
Yeah.
Incredible. The sun is about to set soon, I think, and there's a baseball bat in the backyard, a football. Nice crisp air.
It's beautiful.
Mitch and Billy provided me with batteries for my new batteries for my camera.
This already feels so
been
much like a sad
incredible.
soul to me.
Well,
What an
So,
experience.
A four-person podcast. Can we do it? Can we be concise? The answer is no.
Has it ever been attempted before?
Yeah.
Four-person
no
podcast.
way.
We've even attempted it ourselves because, in fact, in the room, if you'll allow me to give a what up.
What's up, baby?
We got a crowd favorite, our roommate Jonna.
Not mic'd, but just kind of watching and
No,
listening.
I was
Yeah.
not about to mic a fifth person, and I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, we barely have enough for four. So no
Yes,
cheering
yes.
yet, though, huh?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
You'll get one.
Welcome to All the Space in Between. I keep almost saying Sad Soul, which is kind of adorable.
Yeah.
All the Space in Between. This is an advice podcast, but some of you may not know that in yesteryear, in a past life, Christian and I actually had a Wii advice podcast of our very own. It was
What
called
advice about Nintendo Wii? Walked right into that one.
The
Have we
first-
advice podcast?
the first zinger of the show.
So many more to come.
We had an advice podcast in 2014. Now, I would say that in 2014, it was actually a bit freakish to have a podcast.
Was weird, yeah.
We were freaks.
Avant garde.
Uh-huh.
Did it start in 2014?
It did start in 2014. The very beginning of 2014, too. Let's just
Yeah.
call it 2013.
Well, because I remember when
wait,
Call
hold
it
on, actually.
2012.
Yeah.
When did Joe Rogan start his podcast? I think it was 6 months before that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
I know when I came to America the first time and met you in like June 2014, you were already a few episodes deep because I was listening to it on that
shit.
trip. Yeah.
We
That's-
started in January. Billy came in June.
Yeah.
We had 2 episodes.
Exactly. It was a very inconsistent podcast. It was loose. It was no schedule. It was whenever I could track Christian down enough to record, we would put out an episode and it did pretty good on Tumblr because we would just put it out on Tumblr. We were Tumblr boys. We were on that website very hard, very fast, and it changed everything. and we put up the podcast, and I still get people today. We're 180 episodes deep into this show, and I still get people who are like, "Sad Soul was my first podcast. Sad Soul Advice Club was my first podcast." And
Yeah, people still email this show and they're like, "P.S. I listened to Sad Soul like 10 years ago
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
8 years ago now. Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, that's a long time.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's rough. And before we get into the show, we all start talking the most. This is incredible because we've all been online friends for
A decade.
like a portion of our
About.
lives. Yeah, like a third of our
Yeah.
lives, right? Never met until yesterday.
Wait, who was first? You and Amanda were internet friends first?
It had to have been Christian and I.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
had to have been Christian and I. Yes.
It had to have been.
Yeah, because we were talking forever ago.
I'll give that to Christian. I'll let him take it. I'll let him have it.
So we back on Tumblr. I'm releasing flat sound songs every so often, and I start getting messages. I start getting messages on Tumblr that would say, "Did you know that Christian Novelli likes your music?" And I was like, "That's so cool. Who's Christian Novelli?" And then I looked up your YouTube channel, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's so popular.
He's so hot.
He's online. He's online, and I'm online." And then we started talking, and from like the first conversation, we were talking about rap music, and we just connected. We started talking on Skype a whole bunch. We eventually started the project Wishing.
Yeah.
In 2015, we started Wishing, and have been doing that ever since. And still, just through some, it's like an odd, stubborn, almost a hatred. We refused to meet until yesterday.
Yeah.
Until yesterday.
After so many long podcast or Skype calls,
And podcasts.
Which I now
on
know
the
you
brain.
secretly recorded as podcasts.
But we would have calls till like 7,
Yes.
8 in the morning.
Our early 20s, so many Skype calls, hundreds of
Yeah,
Skype
you guys
calls.
would just like fall asleep on the phone to each
We were
other. and stuff.
online
Yeah.
buds,
Yeah.
baby, and now in real life friends. So of course we're
rocks.
choosing to monetize that every chance we get. You're only here for 2 days. Podcast. I've already had you sign some Wishing records,
It's true.
so we could both sign that. Hopefully, we're gonna get some Wishing stuff done tonight.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's
Who knows?
a possibility.
But for now, we podcast, and for now, we give advice. See, normally
Yeah.
how this works is we get what was that?
What is that?
It's a pickle.
Oh,
So it's a conundrum, and I think it's kosher.
okay.
I think it's a kosher conundrum. that
I'm
we can-
here, so it is kosher.
That sounds like a fucking deli in here, and I don't know why.
Oh my god.
We get some emails, and we do our darndest to answer questions. I think back to Sadsoul Advice Club, and I'm like, what dog shit advice we gave? What terrible advice that we gave, because we were babies giving advice to littler babies. And that is just awful.
I think it's funny.
I think it's funny
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So as a surprise, as a surprise, as if having you two on the show isn't like the biggest surprise that we could have.
It better be.
I got into the old sadsoul email where people would send us emails.
Yeah.
That was I forgot what it even was. Submit at sadsoul.info or something.
Yeah.
What a confusing email, because none of it sounds like an email, right? It's submit at sadsoul.email. No, submit at sadsoul.info.
Don't
Who cares?
email.
Don't write us because we don't see it. But we got into it.
We hacked the mainframe.
We got into it.
Yeah.
We got
thought-
it.
We really got into
We
it.
really got into it.
We thought that it'd be fun to look at some of these, because what surprised me the most is that when getting into it, there are like a couple emails from like 2021.
Yeah.
And we stopped this podcast in 2016.
People are still emailing 5 years later.
So, like, half a
It'd be
decade
funny
later.
if they email 5 years later and then we actually answer it.
Kind of dope, actually.
And they take the advice 5 years later.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
So can we get into some Sad Soul Advice Club emails for this very special episode of All the Space in Between?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
thinking.
baby.
I don't know.
What if we just decide let's not do it?
Yeah.
Let's actually not.
Yeah.
Let's just stop the recording.
Yeah, that's
In fact,
it.
I never hit record. I'm just now noticing that. It was just, it's so strange.
Whoops.
Do you want me to read one?
Yes.
I'm going to read the most recent one you have, which is from 2021.
Lay it on me.
It says, the subject is, what happened to you guys? And it says, I wanted to see if your podcast was available on YouTube or Spotify. I remember listening 6+ years ago. Dang. That's it.
Thank you, Sad Soul.
What happened to you guys?
Uh,
First of all, I like that they were like, I couldn't find your podcast on YouTube or Spotify, but I remembered how to email you.
that's all.
Selective
The
memory.
very confusing email I was just saying.
Yeah.
It's just a tattoo on their leg. Yeah. That's just a forever thing for them.
Yeah. What
Are
happened to
we
you
gonna do
guys?
the bit where not we're just picking up like it was
No, I
yesterday?
want to actually talk about all like the beautiful and great stuff that we've done in the since we stopped Sad Soul, because
Did you officially stop Sad Soul, or did it
We
just
did.
kind of... Okay, so did you do like a last episode or something?
We didn't do a
or-
last episode.
No.
We got to like episode 20 and both kind of quickly decided like we don't want to do this anymore, right? And then we're like, let's start another podcast, and like hyped it up kind of a lot. So we started another podcast. We got 2 episodes deep and then stopped that one entirely.
Yeah.
That was kind of an unofficial stop.
Yeah.
That was like, we had like this overarching idea for the podcast. We like,
yeah, very conceptual.
It was
Really
high
just
art.
moving through a house.
right. And we just like didn't do it at all.
Yeah.
And then nothing. And then no podcasts. But that was also around the time that we both kind of focused a lot more on our music and not podcasting. And Flats on the Fox Academy has done pretty great things since then. It's our like full-time job now, and that kicks ass.
Yeah, both of you stars of the indie lo-fi Tumblr bedroom music scene.
Getting on playlists, getting on TikTok,
Getting on TikToks.
getting on TikTok.
Not everyone can do that. They don't just give those to everybody.
And how about Wishing? The project we all know and love. And,
We all know and love.
and talk about.
I
Both frequently
And
talk about.
advertise.
I can't
The most advertised project.
I can't believe that Wishing, as under advertised as it is, criminally not even underrated, unrated, other than Duncan. It
Unrated.
we
uncut.
a director's
Unleashed.
cut of a music project that we have does
Seems
pretty
good.
well. Like, if that were my main project, I'd be very, very proud of it. What, it's got 120,000 monthly listeners right now on Spotify. And again, we just do not talk about that. We should talk about it a lot more.
Yeah.
This is talking about it now.
That's kind of the beauty of it,
It is.
It's true.
isn't it?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of
Yeah.
agree that like there's something very cool about it being like a little bit mysterious and underpromoted and stuff, but also on the flip side, there's lots of fans of you and Fox Academy, and there's lots of fans of you and Flat Sound who probably don't know that Wishing is the both of you.
No,
Surprise.
no. I posted about it just recently because we got our own editorial playlist. So we hit like that many streams, I guess, that were like, we let a robot pick your songs for you. And so I posted about that, and I just got nothing but messages from people who were like, oh my God, you're Wishing. And I'm like, that rules. But it's also so bad. Like, it's also just proof that I don't fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
But if there's a common theme between me and Christian's music, it is that it's not that I think that it's underrated, because we both have songs that are in like the 20 millions or more even, you know? It's that I do think as the music industry goes, we're largely underappreciated and not talked about. No pitchfork. No
Needle
no check
drop.
marks for anything. No needle drop. no nothing, right? And part of me for a long time was like, that kicks so much ass. And now as I'm getting older, I'm like a little bit salty. I'm like, I've been doing this for long enough. Talk about me. Acknowledge the fact I've been around for over a fucking decade now, and I still have a strong audience, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. But also very influenced by the Insane Clown Posse. So maybe that's just the route that I was destined to take. Something that just is unnoticed, underground, for as long as fucking possible, until I become a meme.
Yeah.
You have your own festival.
There you
a
go.
gathering.
Yeah, and then like everyone on YouTube is like, "Oh, I went to the thing and it was crazy." And it wasn't
And
that crazy.
actually, well, I don't like this guy's music and don't listen to it, but he's actually normal. That's like the thing I hate the most about any Insane Clown Posse interview anywhere, is that there's just some boring guy who's the top comment who's just like, I mean, I don't listen to their music at all, but these seem like good dudes. And I was like, I don't care if you think they seem like good dudes.
I'd have a beer with
Yeah,
them.
I don't give a shit if you'd have a beer
Why
with
would
Violent J.
they wouldn't have a beer with you.
No, they wouldn't have a beer
Why
with
would they
you.
have a beer with you?
Fuck
Why
no.
do you think you could have a beer with the Insane Clown Posse?
We digress.
We digress.
Speaking of beer, time for segments.
Where none of us have beer.
Yeah, where we all stay.
Having water with no alcohol, no beer. and,
We're all,
no hard seltzer.
We're all good boys now.
So
That's true.
We're
yeah.
all sober kings here.
Yeah. Everyone in this
That is
room.
true.
Everyone in this house.
That's true, actually.
Yeah,
Powerful.
that's dope.
Hive mind.
Yeah, I could spend the whole episode just talking about Christian and I being like in our 30s now, which in itself kicks so much ass. But I'd like to get some more questions.
Let's
What
drink.
happened to us?
Let's drink.
Now?
Yeah.
Christian seemed to introduce the
gonna-
segment.
Okay.
And my
Where's
drink,
their-
I
where's
don't
their
have my
respect?
drink anymore. It's finished.
Is there a lack
Here,
of drink?
I got. Oh, let me just crack this can.
Oh my
Let's hear
god.
it. Let's hear it. Wow, that was good.
Ooh.
That was a good crack.
Yeah, that was
Alright.
incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're gonna have to share.
We
Oh.
must
Should be fine.
introduce
Yeah.
the drinking segment.
Yeah.
Because this is how it goes now for the people listening at home. If you have a drink in front of you and you'd like us to share a moment with you, if you'd like to share a moment with us, here's what we do now on the podcast. We started it on Sad Soul. We took it over to the radio show. And now, as of very, very recently, we're doing it on this very podcast. There's a drink in front of you. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're on the bus. I don't care if you're on your way to school. I don't care if you're amongst friends or completely alone. If there's a drink in front of you, I want you to join us in this very special moment where we all take a second and drink the same, not the same. We
The same.
drink
No, it's the same
a
drink.
drink
It's the same drink.
at the same time. And we all share that moment. Now, here's the catch.
Yeah.
After we drink our drink, we take the most satisfying sip we can. This is what we do. We all make the same noise at the end, and it goes a little like this. We all have to make that sound at the end. Can we do that?
Yes.
Can we all do that? Can
Yes.
people listening at home do that?
I do have coffee. A little
Can we
bit
get a... No one can clink, right? No one?
Yeah, I got a clink.
I got
I
plastic.
could clink. I could do a
We can
clink.
try.
Yeah. There it
It's
is.
just terrible. That sounded- oh, here's a clink. Here's a clink.
Ooh.
You, John.
More of a thud.
Ceremonious.
Okay. So on three?
Sure.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Wonderful.
That was refreshing and so good.
Celebratory.
I've never had a
Why?
better sip that I spilled onto myself also.
What? Wait, okay. Mitch was drinking water.
Yes. Ice water.
Christian
Cold
was
water.
drinking coffee.
iced Americano, 2 pumps of white mocha syrup, and coconut milk.
I had an iced chai
Probably.
latte with oat milk. What have you got?
I've got a strawberry hibiscus sparkling water, organically
good.
flavored.
So good. Jonna has an Arizona iced tea in the corner.
Beautiful.
Classic.
All of us different drinks.
Good beverage selection today.
I feel
Great
the most
selection.
boring with the water now.
Well, you are the most boring.
Okay.
So
That's
step
fine.
it up.
That's okay.
next
Water
time.
is the most classic,
True.
and it's good to be classic
We're
and classy.
gonna just burn through
Whatever, I don't know.
these.
Do you think it's better to have class or swag?
Ooh.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, if you really have class or swag, wouldn't you just have both?
You would think that, but then there was that like really famous war that I fought in. That was against the people that had swag and the people that had class.
Yeah.
And from what I remember, I think boys had swag, but men had class.
Men had class, I think. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm having trouble remembering.
So long ago.
And ladies have elegance.
Yeah.
True.
I'm the age now where I should have class,
Yeah.
but I'm like dripping. So there's that. Some kind of a hybrid mix of the two.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Really makes me think.
Just you.
me.
Just you.
The sun is setting,
Back to that.
It is.
by the way.
It is gorgeous outside.
Is it beautiful?
Yeah, I could literally stand out there and I could still have my microphone and stuff. That'd be pretty funny, but I won't.
I get to it
I'm
then.
putting you outside.
I'd like to burn through some of these sad soul emails.
Okay.
If you'll allow me, and if you guys will help me answer some of these. They are so old.
Yeah. Can I read one?
Yes.
This one says, hi, and it's from 2018. And it says, Dear Sad Soul, I'm Anna from Australia, and I'm new to your podcast.
Nice.
2 years after it finished. I must say it's very addicting to hear all the episodes of your podcast. You guys are very funny, and I love the way you deliver your information/advice in a very unique way. Please keep it up. I'm waiting for your update. Also, new episode.
Here it is.
Here it is, baby.
This is it.
It's all for you, Anna.
Are all the recent ones just like, hey, I love the show. I just started listening. I hope it doesn't end soon. Like, that's
Would
not,
be a shame if something
Yeah.
happens.
There's just like, well, I hope nothing's changed. I'm married. Like, we're in our 30s.
Yeah.
It's cool. I have a cool one here that I think is a good talking point.
Okay.
And it just says, need advice. Hey, Mitch and Novelli, and then it says Flat Fox, like a mixture between our two last names. I told my present girlfriend that I live in Delaware, where she lives, but I actually live in Georgetown. I didn't think she was going to be my girlfriend when I met her, and now she is. So I don't know how to tell her. P.S. Her last breakup was due to troubles in long distance. Love, Sad Soul. Where are those two places?
I was just
Where
thinking
is
they're
compared?
pretty close.
Are they close?
Can we get a
I
Google
think
search
so.
on
gonna
Georgetown?
Yeah, go Delaware, Georgetown, distance in miles.com.
Okay, if it's, Delaware is...
Thank you for laughing at that. Thank you, Jonna, for laughing at that.
Oh, Delaware's a state.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's so small.
So small.
It's really small. More people should live in Delaware.
Directions from Georgetown, which is in Washington.
Oh,
Maybe they were
Isn't
confused.
there many Georgetowns though?
probably.
Well, this one's a 2-hour drive away.
Hold on,
from
I'm just
Delaware.
gonna email them.
George was.
Back.
Which Georgetown is
Yeah.
Yeah.
George was pretty busy when he was on the map creating.
it? George was all over the place.
Yeah.
He was the Johnny Appleseed of his era. He really was.
Oh.
There's also a Georgetown
guessed.
in Delaware, which is confusing.
Interesting. I'm from the state.
Maybe he also didn't know that Delaware was a state. Have we
He
considered
doesn't
that?
realize that he does live in Delaware.
Oh shit! I guess
She
I guess
told me
I
she's
am-
from Delaware, but I'm from Georgetown, which isn't the same, I think.
So let's assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's assume that they live very far away, right?
Okay.
They live like several hours away or something like that. Let's
Yeah.
also assume, because this is a Satchel email, that they're 11 years old. so they're very young. They're super young. And it's a funny thing to lie about is where you live. You know?
It's a really funny thing to lie about. Why would
It's-
you?
Oh, I'm also from there. That's so cool. Yeah. And then
Looking
now
at places on Google Maps.
I live
love
there,
that.
actually. My mom grew up there, yeah, and it's just like not
Favorite
true at all.
restaurant.
Uh-huh.
Delaware is my favorite restaurant.
Yes.
So,
Should be a restaurant.
assuming they're... I want to see if they're like... I want to know if they're like with this person still. Well, how long is that? 2018.
Yeah.
How long is that?
4 years.
4
That's
years?
4 years.
I don't like that I had to think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to do like
We all did.
adding and then subtracting for some reason.
Oh boy.
I think this is super funny. And when I was young, I mean, I still am glowing.
Yeah.
But when I was like when I was younger than I am now, which is hard to imagine.
Yeah.
Because
Weird.
again, I'm so youthful.
Yeah. When I was like a teen, I looked the same.
My skin's radiant.
Yeah.
Yeah. My skin's radiant and dewy.
My hairline has always been perfect. It's like a straight line. When I was young, specifically a teenager, and I had access to a computer, which I should not have had, I'd lie to people constantly. I'd lie to people all the time.
Yeah.
I'd lie to people about my age.
Yeah.
I'd be 14 saying I was 16.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's
And to me, my hands were just shaking every time I typed it because I'm like, I'm going to get found out.
Yeah.
But then they're going to know that they're talking to a 14-year-old.
I was online lying about my age, my sex,
And my
my
location.
location.
Everything.
The entire ASL, a complete lie.
You used to actually lie about a lot of stuff in chat rooms, which is funny, but
Is
we've
it
always,
lying or is it role playing?
It's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Doing some RP.
I'm a hot 42-year-old mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have either of you lied online? What's your biggest lie you told online when you were but a tween?
I'm chronically honest, unfortunately.
You
That
seem
sucks.
like
Yeah,
Amanda
yeah.
seems like a very good.
Yeah.
Samaritan, yeah.
The closest I got, I think I got into some a Twilight roleplay situation on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
But not in a hot way, where people were on Twitter and one was Edward and one was Bella, and then I was like, oh, I'm Renesmee.
Oh, wow.
I was
the
role playing
baby.
as the CGI baby.
Oh, wow.
Baby.
Yeah,
That's so...
when I was 13.
Oh, that's
12.
so scary, yeah.
I was only a
Yeah.
little bit older than the baby. you could relate to the role.
Yeah. It was a passion project of mine.
I would say I was from Canada at
that
times.
That's a really funny one.
Yeah.
What, born out of what? Just you thought it would be cool?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
Wanting to be a person that lived in Canada.
It is pretty cool.
I think being from the United States, like living here and being a U.S. citizen, it was always spoken about. They're just like, oh, I'm just going to move to Canada one day. Oh, yeah.
Oh, big
Canada
time.
is like cool, you know? When really it's actually just cold. And I think that's what I was talking about the whole
Cool,
time.
yes.
Yeah. It's
Frigid.
cool. As in the wind.
Yeah.
But now that I'm older and I have so many friends and close friends and stuff that are from Canada, I'm like, oh shit, it sucks there. Like, it's awful there.
It's about the same level of bad, I think. Yeah.
I think
in
it's-
different ways.
I think
Yeah.
I think it's worse. I think it's much worse.
Why? Because of the snow?
No, not just because of the snow, though that does suck.
It snows in parts of the US as well, I was going to say.
I guess I'm just comparing Canada
To
to
California.
California.
Yeah.
Like,
The
CA
two
to CA.
CAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a duel.
Right, yeah, but if
you
you
know-
live in one of the states that's like next to Canada anyway, they're very similar.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
But still, I don't know. Just yeah, you're right. It all sucks. I think I just like California or the West Coast is very cool to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but being from Canada, why the fuck would I move there? Why would I ever live in Canada on purpose?
I don't know.
It seems awful.
I don't think it seems
I
that
think
bad.
it seems terrible.
I
It
would
used
live
to
there.
be cool.
It did. It did. Not now.
It seems good still, maybe.
I'll
Rich
go
is
there.
giving hot, unwarranted takes on whether Canada is good or bad.
Canada's bad. Of course Canada's bad.
It's
Canada
interesting.
sucks.
It's interesting how much he has to say about Canada when Brooke's not here.
It's so true. So true, man.
Brooke,
Yeah.
Brooke would say the exact same shit about Canada. That it sucks, it's bad.
She can say it though.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah. She's allowed.
She has the Canada pass.
We're sitting completely in the dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Sun went
little-
down. Should we
I need a.
should we continue that or should we
special.
turn a light on?
I
click a light.
think it'll be better if we keep it this way.
I
It's
can't
like
see.
sensory deprivation.
Yeah, that
If we
Our minds
We
will
only
be
hear each
boosted.
other.
the less we can like see each other, the more we're like hearing each other. You know?
We are the podcast.
Yeah. Okay, we can chill.
Whoa, look at hold on. I just got to an email from 2017.
Yeah.
It's okay. It says we'd love to interview you.
Oh.
Hey there. First of all, huge fan of Sad Soul. My name's Natalie, and I work with a company called Anchor. Anchor.
The podcast.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Earlier this year, we launched with a social audio app that received
Oh
a ton
my God.
a ton of positive attention, and it's been growing and it's been growing organically since. We're working on something new and exciting now, which involves interviewing interesting people from the podcast world
Oh
like
my
you.
God.
You're kidding me.
This is so funny.
I was wondering if you'd be available for a quick interview over the phone sometime in the next couple of weeks. Let me know. Hope to talk soon. Best, Natalie.
Oh my god.
Reply.
So
Be like, hey,
when-
so no, but I've got this
How
new
soon?
thing.
Yeah.
How soon would you like to talk?
Yes.
I can't believe Anchor
my
in
God.
their
Taking a
in their
shower.
infancy
Yeah,
was
what?
like, hey, we just launched. We'd love to interview you. We're a fan of the show. And it
is
wasn't even
Anchor?
like a stock
That's
email. They were
crazy.
like, we love Sad Soul. Not Sad Soul Advice Club. Be like, it was
Yeah, not
Yeah.
that was clearly a real email.
you. It was yeah.
So, oh my god.
Actually, you haven't shown me your phone screen, so was it real?
It's so that blows
That's
my
so
mind.
funny that Anchor just when
What
they
I
were
want to
at-
emphasize about this email
Is that I'm not lying. No, it's right here. That's crazy to
That's
me.
so
Yeah.
funny.
You would have gotten it on the ground floor of that.
Yeah.
You could
You-
be sponsored by Anchor right now.
You
What
could have
is
been
Anchor?
the Joe Rogans.
It sounds
Yeah.
familiar.
You could have been the Mabim Bams.
Anchor's like one of the most popular ways to like
Publish your podcast.
easily put
Yeah.
out a podcast now.
Christian.
Don't
one-
say too much about it because like they pay good money for
Yeah,
people
exactly.
to talk about it on their podcast. So
I have no opinion on them just
I have no
yet.
opinion on Anchor.
Unless they wanted to interview me for
Yeah.
liking my current podcast, All the Space in Between.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which by the way has a lot more episodes.
A lot more episodes. It's
Yeah.
so funny that someone from Anchor would even know about the show.
But that shows that like back when you were doing Sad Soul, it was unusual to have a podcast.
It's very strange to have
Yeah.
a podcast. You're right.
It
Yeah.
was sick and twisted.
Say we were pioneers. in a
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It's true.
Cowboys.
A cat, pretty cat, I think, jumped over the fence.
Oh, yeah,
I
he
saw.
does that sometimes.
Goodbye.
Yeah, it's like a classic cat move. Actually,
That's
he just
classic
jumps on
cat.
the fence. You should hear him meow. It
Cinematic.
goes crazy.
Oh my god.
Okay, give me another sad soul question, baby.
Just a random.
Do a
sad-
random one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's got a
No,
little
actually, do one
random.
that's pre-picked, even though we don't. Yes, a random one.
Okay. What? Pick a year. You want 2016, 2017?
Give me 2017 after the show had ended.
Okay.
It's just like Joe Rogan being like, "We'd love to interview you."
Okay. This one says, I'm short apparently. Christian and Mitch. Listen, I'm not that short. I'm legit 5'3". That's average height for a female, but everyone that I know makes fun of me for it. I'm not that short. Literally, the next time someone calls me short, I'ma slap them. I guess I'm asking if 5'3" is short and I need to accept it, or if everyone around me is abnormally tall. Thanks, sad soul.
Oh my god, I'm just so small. I'm just so tiny.
I just,
oh, I just can't.
I'm not like the other girls. I'm short.
I'm 5'3".
I would like to come clean about something, and it's that I wrote this email. I am 5'3".
So
What do
how
you guys think?
feel?
Am I small? Tell me I'm small.
You're
Tell
not,
me I'm
Aren't you?
small.
You're
Tell me I'm
normal.
so petite and tiny
Tell me
and
I'm
small,
tell me I'm
minuscule.
dainty.
I can barely see you.
Uh-huh.
I'm like a little mouse, right?
I'm just like Mrs.
Mrs. Jingles?
Mrs. Jingle.
This is Jingles, the Instagram
Yeah.
mouse.
The
Oh, a
TikTok
TikTok
The
mouse.
TikTok mouse. Okay, sorry.
You're like the
Excuse
size
you.
of my iPhone 13 mini.
Yes.
Whoa. Again, not sponsored, but
Pick
one up.
Could be.
Pick one up if you can.
That's me.
Can't find it.
any opinion?
Must
Okay,
be a
okay.
speck of dust covering it.
Okay, how about this? How about this? Any opinions on
Yeah.
one another physically now that we're in the physical realm of one another? Huh?
Before you guys arrived, I think Brooke was like, "Oh, I wonder what they're gonna think of you," and I was like, when I first met Mitch, when I first met you, I was
First
like, "Well,
time,
he's small."
2014.
And then again, when we just spent 2 years apart, and I came and saw you again for the
You're
first
like-
time in a couple of years, I was like, "God, he's fucking small."
Still small.
So
Still tiny.
in like such a cute way though.
I didn't
It's like,
grow
oh, I wanna pick
in
him
that
up.
time. No.
No, but yeah, I was like, I have no idea how tall Christian is. Is Christian tall? And Mitch was like, yeah, Christian's tall.
I said that, and then I
And
saw
then you
Christian.
got here and I was like,
He's not that
Christian's
tall.
not that tall.
You're not that tall. You're not that tall.
But Mitch has been picturing you as very tall.
I swear you said you were 6'9".
Yeah. And a quarter.
Yeah, I don't know where I got that idea. Is Michael tall?
You're like the same height.
Who's taller? Me or Michael?
You or Michael?
Yeah, me or Michael.
Michael.
Michael or I?
Michael.
Michael.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael's wife and I.
And answer carefully.
Yeah.
You are taller than Michael's wife.
There we go.
There-
There
Thank
we go.
you.
You're taller than a wife. How does it feel? 2 wives. You're taller
Yeah.
than 2 wives.
I'm
at least.
taller than a lot of wives. But not all wives. Just a
Hashtag.
little fact/riddle about me. I thought Christian was going to be taller, but Christian's not short. But would you agree I'm a bit short? I'm a little short. Say it with your gut.
I
How
think
about?
you're normal. I
Yeah,
think
I think
you're
you're normal.
taller than you let on.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Wow.
There we go.
That is a bona fide quote. You can put that
Yeah.
in print.
Taller than I've
I
let
think
on.
you're normal, Christian.
I
Novelli.
think you're normal.
Yeah,
I
That's
think
a-
you're normal and epic.
There we go.
Wow.
Ooh, and swag.
Whoa.
Or
Swag and class.
I think you're
Yeah.
We
really
already went over this. Hybrid.
yeah. I think you're
Perfect
really
hybrid.
brave for being 5'2". So
Yeah, there we go. What was I gonna say? Most people are like, "You're not tall," and I know I'm not tall. They're like, "But you're like very not tall." It's like, okay, well, that's like veering
No.
into short. I think
I don't see you that way.
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, you're
You got a big
5'3". I don't
personality.
give a shit what you. I'm asking the giant in the room, Christian.
Oh, so you're saying I'm small, huh?
Going back, so I am tiny.
Let's circle back to what you think about me. I haven't heard enough about that.
We measured me on the podcast when Brooke was here and you were here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was chaotic. I almost got like guillotine with the
Measuring tape.
with the measuring tape. Yeah, everyone screamed. But it turns out I was
6'3"?
Now, I know that 5'12" isn't a technical thing. so so we'll just call it 6. We'll just call it 6 then. I think when we measured, I was actually 5'8".
Oh.
No, I was 5'7". Was I 5'7"?
You were 5'7".
I was
Oh.
5'7".
Yeah.
I kept
and a
saying
bit.
I was 5'8". Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. I kept saying I was 5'8".
Yeah.
I keep believing I'm 5'8", and people
you
keep
might
saying
be
no, you're
7.5.
not.
Gonna happen.
Yeah,
If you keep believing.
that sucks. Christian, how tall are you?
5'10".
Yeah, must be nice to be the taller one in wishing.
Towers over us all.
Wow. We shouldn't play a show together. I want to just be looking at you the whole time. If we play a show together,
You're in his shadow.
it'll be like an acoustic set where like you're sitting and I'm like not.
You're on stilts.
I'm running around the stage. Yeah.
You have pants
Really?
over
I'd like
the
to-
stilts.
I'd like to see you on Christian's shoulder, big trench coat,
Giant, yeah, trench coat.
Yeah.
2 guitars.
Yeah.
No one has done that. I think that could be good.
Yeah.
Who's done the double trench coat look for a show?
For a show.
For a
yeah.
show. Look at
Two-man trench
Like
coat look.
here's the thing is like first it's Mitch on Christian's shoulders in the trench coat and it's a flat sound gig and then you take
Switch.
then you can switch and then
Yeah.
you take the coat off and then it's a wishing gig and then Michael comes
Oh.
on.
And then,
There you go.
and then you both get on Michael's shoulders.
But it's like how many if you had just like the 3 of you, how many projects could you fill a lineup, you know?
Oh.
Like 6
Oh,
projects.
Yeah. So true.
we talked about that in the past
Yeah.
where we're like, if we just wanted to get paid,
Yeah.
we could play a show and it would be a Flat Sound Fox Academy gig with a wishing set at the end.
Yeah.
And a Richie Woods
Band.
opener.
Yeah.
And a Felt Doxon
A Felt
surprise
Dachshund is
closer.
there.
Yeah.
And then a Lilac Skate Team and then like
Oh.
6 of your other projects that you've only done one thing for. I saw actually a thing online a little while ago that was like, what are all of Christian Novelli's like projects? And there was just like a list of band camps I hadn't heard of. Yeah. There was just like Lilac Skate Team was one of them and I did know that.
Yeah.
Cute Girl magazine.
I knew that one too. There was another one that I like didn't ever hear of that was on there, and then there was obviously like Fox Academy and all that stuff. Or no, it was actually
there's Mary's Gate.
yeah, maybe that was the one.
One
that
of the
I didn't
best. Check it out.
know. Wait, is that one?
It's the new one.
Is that the one you have an Instagram for?
No.
No. What am I thinking?
Oh,
of?
that one is Did You See Me on the Bus?
That one. That one rules. That
Oh,
one is
thank
so,
you so
so
much.
good.
That's a great Instagram.
Uh-huh.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I think the post was like breaking down the 2 people in Fox Academies, all of their side projects and stuff. So it was like you and Michael's side project. It was just like a list of things. I'm like, oh my god!
Like
Michael's
things.
got a lot too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He's got
Yeah.
one called 10.
Wow, I
Got
didn't
one
know
called
about that.
Beagles. Got one called Wussy Cat.
I didn't know that one.
That's a great name.
Shout out Beagles.
True.
Wow.
But yeah, this person is 5'3" is the perfect height.
Yeah,
is my
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, it is.
It's Christian's unbiased opinion.
Yeah.
It's a perfect height for a 5'10 person to be with a 5'3 person. Is that wait? Hang on.
Huh.
And then if you're 5'7 and I'm 5,
Is that the same difference?
yeah.
Ooh,
Wow.
interesting.
Perfect 7-inch height difference. That's the sweet spot.
Is it?
Yeah.
It does. It's always felt. Sorry, I'm gonna turn the microphone
If
off. For a
both me
second.
and you wear like 3-inch platforms, then we'll be the same height as Amanda and Christian.
And really hot.
Yeah.
But we could use that for the next time we like pretend to be them when they're gone. You know, that'd be cool.
When Billy puts on some clip-in bangs. Or Mitch.
Yeah. Yeah. When I put a little coconut head click on. Yeah.
Throw me another question.
Okay. I'm like skimming. I don't want to. A lot of them have the word boyfriend in the first line. And I'm like, I don't
Oh.
care.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about all that.
You're gonna get jealous.
okay. This is oh god. So many of them are so long as well.
A lot of them are long.
Okay.
Wait. If you remember, part of the reason we didn't want to do Sad Soul Advice Club anymore is because we got a lot of the same questions over and over again.
Yeah.
And it just felt very like, well, this is too serious to answer, and this is not very fun to answer, and that's something that I'm proud to say we don't really have a problem with on our show.
not so much. We dissuaded the serious emails. That's why.
Yeah. For like probably the first year and a half of the show, we only talk about shit and piss.
Yeah.
And then now we just like sometimes when someone just starts listening and they come directly like from Flat Sound, they're like, oh my god, I love this podcast. Really serious email. Really serious, awful, triggering email. And it's like, oh, okay, you should listen to like other episodes first.
You listen to like any episode,
Listen to any other episode.
You should go to therapy first.
That this is one that I almost guarantee that you didn't get before. So I'd be so surprised if you had.
Okay.
This one's called Her Ham and Piper Swiper.
So hold on. What are those words?
Her ham.
Her ham.
Her as in the German word for like sir.
Oh.
Her ham and Piper Swiper.
Okay. Still do not understand, but okay.
Hello, Mitch and Christian. Hope you all are having a good day. Were you two having a good day on 29th of November 2016?
That was a pretty dark day for me, actually.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that.
That was a good day. Thank you.
Basically, I have a huge crush on my German teacher, Herr Ham.
Oh my god.
I visit him in his classroom or at school events pretty frequently, and we have a great dynamic.
Whoa.
While he does call me cutie/beautiful, he did give me a kiss on the head once, and earlier in the year he said, let's get married in the next life.
Oh.
I don't think he has any real romantic feelings for me.
Oh, what? Is it too late to get this guy arrested?
Obviously. I don't know how old this person is. Obviously, pursuing him romantically would be silly, and I don't want to jeopardize our friendship with my feelings. But he's just so wonderful and fun, and every time I make him smile, I feel like sunshine. I'm also worried about bringing this up to my therapist because I'm afraid she will think that something bad is happening when it isn't, and tell my mom. Oh my god! How do I deal with this crush / get rid of ruining a great platonic relationship? How should I bring this up to my therapist? Is this unhealthy? Much love. Thank you for your help, sad soul. P.S.
No.
My German teacher is 36 and married with kids, and I am I'm a sophomore in high school.
No.
I was like super hoping they were in college.
Oh, even then.
Come on, man.
Yeah. PPS, my aunt calls me Piper Swiper because Piper is my second name and I used to watch Dora the Explorer a lot.
I feel like we have enough info here to like call the police.
Honestly, we have his name. Just call the police and be like, there's a her ham. And they'll say, what are you saying? What are those words? I don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Whose ham?
Her ham.
Her ham. Yeah.
Possessive ham.
It's hers.
Yeah.
To be fair, when I started reading that, I didn't know that they were going to be a high school student. So,
Well.
yeah.
Any thoughts? Opinions?
There's only one correct opinion to have, and it's that this is bad. Or it
Yeah,
was
Your teacher
bad.
probably should not be kissing you. Your teacher is
Probably not be kissing you on the head or anywhere, really.
No kissing from the teachers.
Maybe the hand?
Not even.
Oh.
That. No.
The neck?
Now we're getting somewhere.
The feet?
Yeah. Kiss on the head called cutie?
Oh.
Is it cutie?
I just think they're just like, I wouldn't want to jeopardize our beautiful friendship. And it's like,
That's
it's weird to
weird,
even
too.
have a friendship.
That's odd too.
Well, Germans are so classically affectionate, so maybe it's just cultural. They're known for that.
Those Europeans are always kissing.
Yeah.
They're always smooching.
Known for
yeah.
their warmth.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that if they were a sophomore in high school in 2016,
My age.
they're now they're now 22, and their German teacher is now 42.
Interesting.
So
I don't know how I.
so maybe it's
stand.
fine now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Jonna, how's your relationship with your German teacher right now?
Oh, it's great.
Did he divorce his wife?
Yeah.
What's it like to be a step-parent?
To those kids. Yeah. That sucks. I didn't think we'd find like a crime in here, but here we are.
This is the thing with randomly going through this.
Yeah, picking emails like this, it is it does suck. Pick a random, not long one, and let's just give like earnest advice to this person. God, I'm scrolling through so many bad ones.
I have one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
please, thank you.
This one's called Nervous About Seating. Hey, Mitch and Christian. For the past 2, maybe 3 years, I've been struggling with something that a lot of people I've talked to think is pretty strange. I panic when I can't sit in the same spot I always do. This meaning when I'm at church, eating dinner at our kitchen table, or even sitting at a booth in a restaurant, I force my family to sit in the same order or in the same row in the same exact chairs. If they refuse to do so, I panic almost immediately. I cry, I find it hard to focus, and I pretty much feel as though it's the actual end of the world. I have some other behaviours I think might be related to this as well, such as always ordering the same food at different restaurants I go to, having a specific thing I eat on each menu, and panicking when I have to try something different, as well as a few other ones that I won't mention for length purposes. Thank you. What's up with me?
So,
I think everything they're doing is exactly right.
I think,
totally
I think
normal.
it's perfect behaviour.
Never change.
It honestly sounds really comforting, and I'm going to try it.
Sounds,
I
like
think
a comforting
it's
structure.
what we were talking about earlier. It is an exposure therapy type of thing where you just have to
Sit somewhere else.
force yourself to sit somewhere else and until it's comfortable for you. Obviously, it's not that simple, but that might be the
The
beauty.
Yeah.
baseline.
Well, they closed saying, "What's up with me? Is it possible this is an obsessive behavior? If so, how can I overcome this if exposure therapy causes me to panic?"
Oh my god, I can't believe that.
Oh,
Oh,
Shouldn't have waited.
But the
well,
isn't kind of the
stop. I made a fool of myself.
But I think that's kind of interesting because
We
it
should do
isn't
another. We should start over.
yeah. Scrap this.
isn't
too late
sort
to
of the
record
point
anymore.
of exposure therapy that you do panic, kind of. Not. I mean, it's more complicated than that, but
It's not necessarily so that you panic.
no.
But you will probably.
A good exposure will make you very uncomfortable and have you experience high anxiety without reaching the point of fully panicking. The main point, I think, is for it to be high anxiety, manageable. And like manageable doesn't mean like you could do it comfortably either. It's still extremely uncomfortable, but manageable just means that you were able to do it.
Yeah.
You were able to see it through. And that can include some panic, but if it just makes you uncomfortable, that's what the exposure is for. It's much more useful to do the exposure that makes you very uncomfortable rather than slowly work towards something that makes you comfortable the entire way through. Because you don't get as much out of it.
Take longer.
Yeah. There you go.
And if you weren't panicking, then you wouldn't need the exposure therapy.
That's
So,
kind of true. That's
Yeah.
like the conundrum, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
you gradual uncomfortable steps is kind of the key to exposure. I'm going to do this, it's going to suck, but it's not going to deter me so much that I don't want to do it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Good
like that.
balance. But yeah, ideally you do anything like that, like with a therapist and a plan, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you don't just like force yourself to do the thing that you're scared of and just
you
have an
have a
awful time.
therapist work you through it. But yeah, it seems like it's expanding into other things besides just the seating. Because they mentioned the food.
and their
ordering.
family also having to sit in the same spaces too, so it goes beyond them.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is interesting. It's actually freaky. It's actually so messed up.
I have a nice
It
little
does
email here that I
sound like
found.
OCD.
And the next email is from a family member who's been forced to sit in the same seat for 10 years.
Yeah, it's still happening.
I do also love giving earnest advice to this person so long after.
Hope you're out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please still be listening.
Please still have the problem.
They're sitting in the same seat to this day.
I really want to be the one that fixes you.
Come on, regress.
You guys have so many therapy. Like literally, the next one down is just called therapy question.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And the next one is called therapists. It's like social anxiety, depression. Like that's literally just the subject lines.
That's literally the
Let's
reason
get
we
into
stopped. Yeah.
I found a cute little one here though that's short. It's got no subject, but it just says, Hey, Christian, Mitch, smiley face. You guys answered my question a while back on your podcast. A while back. In 2016, it was a while back.
Wow.
God.
Also commented on my ASMR voice. Thank you. You guys really helped me out. I just wanted you to know things are going much better for me this year. I've gotten help with my anxiety and just gained more confidence and an entirely new perspective. Some kids in my class have even noticed and say I'm a lot more outgoing and stuff. And yeah, you guys really did make an impact on my life.
Wow.
Keep loving, living, just experiencing. Hope you guys have a nice
That's
day.
incredible.
Oh.
That's cool.
Means a lot.
Yeah, it's just super cute.
Yeah.
I wonder how they're doing now.
Bad.
That sucks.
They're doing well.
Yeah.
Succeeding, thriving. That rocks. Thank you very much
Yeah.
for your email many years ago.
Many years ago.
But keep up the good work.
Very cute. I'm getting back to where you guys have like opened them now. So I don't.
We didn't
I don't
open
know
a
if
lot of emails.
I don't know if you guys like answered them or not.
Probably not. No.
It would be funny if you did though, and then someone found the podcast where you had originally
It's just like
answered
totally
it, and
different
it's
advice. Completely
180.
different.
There's just so many. Oh Jesus Christ!
There's too many emails.
Yeah,
So
no,
anyway,
it was a lot. It was a lot.
So many of them are called just like undiagnosed mental disorders.
Yeah, no,
like,
that is like we had to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't be doing that.
A question about emotional manipulation.
Please diagnose me.
Yeah. Music troubles. You want music troubles question?
Yeah.
From 2016? Dear Mitch and Christian, for the past few years I've been experimenting a lot with making music and I've been discovering so much, but lately I feel kind of like I've hit a dead end. I really don't know what type of sound I want anymore, and really every time I try to write or create music, I don't know how to start. It's also really hard to feel like creating music when there are all these recording softwares are just so hard to understand and work with, and it makes me not want to do anything. Any advice on how I can figure out what I want and how you guys start your music creating process? Thank you. P.S. I'm in high school and don't have any money for expensive equipment or instruments. I just have all the basic instruments: piano, guitar, bass, drum pad, amp, and a computer.
So pretty good.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty good setup.
It's a very good
Sounds like
setup.
you have things.
That is all
Yeah.
the basic instruments.
No,
I
that
think,
really
yeah.
is. Yeah.
You need a tuba, actually.
You need a recorder to
Yeah.
really like finish the set. Yeah.
I have a guitar, a bass, drum,
A synth,
a piano, a computer,
bongos.
a whole
An organelle.
orchestral section
Yeah.
in my house.
Wind,
harp.
brass.
I wonder if the advice we give today would be different than advice we gave. Like, how different, Christian, is your recording process today from then?
It's fairly similar. I think I would probably give the same. Are they looking for advice about recording or starting the songwriting process?
Kind of both, I think. They were just like, yeah, any advice on how I can figure out what I want and how you guys start your music creating process?
My standard answer would probably be the same then as well, which is I just keep notes and a list of things that inspire me, even when I'm not thinking about music, jotting down just a phrase I hear or something I see. And then just once you have that, you build it up, and then when you want to record, or I don't know, I think that just helps with having that just that toolbox of different things that you can get inspired by.
Definitely.
And I always say creating the right atmosphere for recording.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
turning off the lights, putting on a movie, on mute, lighting a candle, all those classic things. It does make a difference.
Yeah.
But also just, I don't know, there's a combination between being patient and letting it come to you, or just forcing yourself. And if nothing comes out of it that you think is good, that's fine, because you're still, getting practice and experience.
Yeah, to me, there's nothing quite as inspiring as like doing something on accident.
Yeah, definitely.
You'll just kind of capture something, you'll create something. When we do wishing, a lot of times it's just like, here's the vaguest idea, and it's mostly just like a loop of one sound. And then from there, we'll be like, okay, can we add some more synth to that? Can we add a beat to that? Can I chop this up in any way? And then we'll just completely transform it from there. And creating an atmosphere, you always tell me too, like when you're recording, turn all the lights off and just leave like one on or something, or just like one like weird lamp on.
Just as we've done tonight.
We actually do just have one weird lamp on, yeah, and it's giving me like slight derealization.
Yeah, it's hard to be in this room right now. But the especially when I'm making ambient music, I think, because then it really feels like I'm just capturing a moment. And a lot of art really is just capturing whatever moment that is right then as best as you can. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more into mixing, more into like how to create a proper mix, and the later wishing stuff that we do, I think, highlights that in some way, and it does sound great, but it still kind of has that backbone of like, here's a very loose idea. Here's a very, very loose idea, and it's just like a cassette recording of some sound. And we build an entire song from there. But when people think about inspiration...
Speaking of which...
a car driving by.
A random loud vehicle outside, yeah.
When doing anything at all, like most people think of inspiration as something that like happens to them in their life, you know, like, oh, I was inspired by a conversation that I had, or I was inspired by a bad breakup or a good relationship or something like that. But I really think you can inspire yourself all of the time just by playing with music. When you play with music and you get these sounds, that will inspire you enough to write an entire song. At least it does for me. I'll hear one little synth lead. I'll hear one little thing I made on guitar. I'll hear something, and I think that's the benefit of what we do on Wishing, because a lot of times we don't have the freedom to start off that song ourselves. We're just like, do something with this, and we have to hear it and become inspired, and we're like, okay, I want to do this with it. What about you? And then we send it back and forth, and that always rolls a lot. So I truly think that people can
work. So collaborate, working with others
yes.
can be helpful in that way. But you're spot on with what you said.
Do you work well with like with other people? Like your main project, Fox Academy, is with Michael. When you two work on Fox Academy, how different is it than when you work on Wishing?
It's fairly similar now. Even though we live in the same place, we tend to just send files back and forth a lot of the time. But when we are in person, it's very organic, and yeah, it works really well. It's pretty seamless, just laying down ideas, and then we like happen to just usually agree on things, and yeah, it just happens pretty smoothly. But it usually starts with just finding some kind of, a few chords or whatever, want some kind of guitar riff, or just starting with a little something and then building over it as much as possible. Because I realize how much heavier and overwhelming it sounds when you listen to a song, but when you're building it, it makes sense. It feels a lot easier when you're just adding instruments. It's a lot easier than it seems when you're you add little things more and more, and it sounds more full. But a lot of our best songs have come just because of the circumstance of the like the atmosphere around us, what's going on the night we had, the feeling of just it's all very situational, but it works pretty smoothly.
I feel like I have like two different modes when I'm working on a song, or when I'm just like writing any song, and that is I either have a guitar in front of me and I'm writing the song on guitar, or I create an instrumental and I'm working with the instrumental that I have, and it's like much more like rigid. But I almost always prefer having an instrumental.
Me too.
Having a full instrumental in front of me, and I'm like, what would I add to this vocally?
Yeah.
What is this telling me to put on it? What lyrics can I write? with this. And to me, you're prolific when it comes to that. I can hand you anything, and I was like, I don't know what to do with this. And the next day you're like, it's done.
Thank you.
It's here, and there's a whole song that I wrote because I write lyrics so fucking slowly. I write lyrics one at a time, so slowly, one word at a time. Like, it's not right. It's not right. I know it's not right. And you'll turn around and you're like, I did something. I would hand you wishing songs, and I'll think I'm doing something to this, so I just want to see what Christian is doing, and I always throw my song away. I'm always like, no way, because I'm working way too fucking hard on this. I'm putting way too much thought into it, and you'll turn around and you'll give me something. That's what you did on A Giant Explosion Far Away. I gave you an instrumental for, do you remember the name of it?
Maple.
Maple, thank you. I gave you an instrumental for Maple, and I was working on a whole other song for that instrumental. And what you gave me back, I was like, I can't do anything this good on this instrumental. Like, I can't, because I was working on something and it was so good in my head, but I kept trying to lay down the vocals. Like, I can't do it. I can't do this. And I got so frustrated that I eventually just sent you the instrumental to get yours. And then you gave me Maple, and I was like, fuck, like, this is so good. This is really, really good. Yeah, A Giant Explosion is a great album and is available on vinyl.
It's available on a 7-inch.
It's on a 7-inch.
An orange variant.
A lot of those
vinyl.
times, though, I always wish I could have heard what you did on the song, because I know it would have been. It's potential genius being thrown away, which is kind of comes back to the question. I don't know. I think just recording, keeping the things you record, sitting on it, coming back to it later, or just finding something within the recording that is special to you. Even if you're just cutting a little bit from it or whatever it is. I think just recording and seeing how it goes. It's never a bad move to record and try, and you'll find what works for you. The more you do it.
Yeah, with our genre in particular too,
Goes
like
for, a lot of things.
Our first takes go a really long way on, specifically for what we do. I'll have like first takes of when we started Wishing, even our song after the opening on To Forget, we have a song called Skin. And I recorded it like laying in bed on my side into my laptop microphone. And it was just like stream of consciousness. And it was just so I could remember like the melody of something so I could write to it later. And a couple months later, I was like, oh, I want to finish this with a nicer microphone. And I tried and couldn't. I tried and I couldn't. I was like, well, all I have is this recording of it. And I showed you, and you were like, it's perfect. Like, please use it for the album.
I don't even know why you're trying to re-record this.
And I was like, because it's just a stream of consciousness.
And it's like that every time.
Yeah, it is. I will always tell people, like, I don't do demos, ever. Like, why would I ever do a demo? If I, my recordings are like the quality of a demo usually anyway. So that demo is the finished track. You know? Like, my demos, I guess, exist on my phone as I'm writing the song. But even then, it's not really a demo. It's just so I don't, like, forget the song.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Flatstone doesn't have any demos, really. I have, like...
Yeah, you just kind of record it the one time
sometimes.
And then, like, polish it up until it's
kind of, yeah.
good. Yeah.
And
a lot of voice memos are key. That's what I do. I have like 15 voice memos of trying to figure out, just writing over a song, thinking of a melody, maybe some words, and then recording another melody idea, and then just 10 of those sometimes, and just kind of remember and just piece things together. That's a lot of piecing things together in my process as well. It can be on the spot or just collecting, inspiration and then piecing it together.
Beautiful. Gorgeous.
Very good.
Our art, that is.
I strongly
Yeah, we don't know
agree.
about this person.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I also agree.
I tell Mitch all the time that I'm like a huge fan of the Christian half of Wishing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's just so, like, obviously, I'm a big fan of Mitch's writing as well, but I'm very used to the way that Mitch writes, and whenever I get to hear like something that you sent back to Mitch when it's still in the kind of mixing stage or something, I'm just like, oh, the way the Christian like thinks up lyrics and like finds inspiration and stuff is just like so different and beautiful.
It's insane.
Thank you.
It's a way, as the only non-artist in the room also. But watching, you know, someone who it does come kind of in a way, I don't think you realize it, but it comes very naturally to you, and to see some, like, I'll notice things now that I know he would notice, and it almost makes me feel more creative in a way, and it almost makes me want to try to do something. But it's funny because you'll come to me with something, you know, when he's visiting me, I'll go to work for the day and I'll come home and he's like, oh, I wrote a song, but I don't know, I recorded it, I don't think it sounds that good. And then I'll get him to play it for me and I'm like, this is literally the best thing anyone has ever done in their entire life. So what do you mean? So this person also hopefully is showing their music to other people so that they can get another ear on it, because I think too, as artists, it's very natural for you to criticize yourself and say, ugh, I don't know, this sounds weird. But you show it to another person, whether their ear is trained or not, and they could tell you like, this is incredible, please don't scrap this. And then maybe it actually turns into, you know, one of the best things you've done.
Yeah, there's probably so much scrapped music in history that is
that could have been amazing.
Genius masterpiece.
Yeah, a great piece of advice really is just like, don't delete what you created. Just like work really, really hard on it. Work as hard as you need to on it, and accept the fact that it could be bad, and you'll probably hear it as bad because you've been hearing it again and again, over and over again, to the point where you're questioning it. Because that's the point that I'm always like, this rules, and then for the next however many hours, I'm like, this is awful. Like, this is just terrible. This is, and then that really discourages me, and I was like, why am I going to pour hours into this if it's not even good? But if you get to the end of it, it's usually like, oh, wait, no, this actually rules. This actually is so good. And sometimes I get to the end of it, and I'm like, I hate this song. It's not very good. But just sit on it for a long time, you know, just work on it and then revisit it a month later when you have like fresh ears. And a lot of times it's like, oh, this is actually really not that bad.
Yeah, I don't do music, obviously, but I do photo stuff and scene making and stuff. And I'm a big fan of like what you said, Amanda. It's like getting a different perspective on things is like really critical for me, because I'm like, you know, sometimes you're just being, you know, really overcritical of yourself, or you're kind of, you know, sometimes I know something's like not quite there and I'm like, this is like a bit cringe, like I need help to finesse this, you know. But I'm also a huge fan of sitting on stuff, and also I'm a big like a digital hoarder kind of thing. Like I have just like, you know, thousands and thousands of photos from whenever, and with photos especially, I don't know if this happens with like songs as well, but like often the longer I leave them, the better they are to me, because like they become like a kind of capsule of that time, and like there's more meaning attached to them, whereas like at the time it might have just been a snapshot, you know.
Absolutely.
So I'm a big believer in not throwing away anything you create, even if you don't like it in that moment, because like you can make it into something later on, maybe. Best case scenario, you can make it into something amazing later on. Worst case scenario, it's funny.
For sure.
If
and which is the best case scenario?
I love something to be funny.
Comedy.
It's almost
to look
more
back and be like, what the
being
fuck
beautiful.
was I doing?
I take 1,000 photos like of everything. I have like 20,000 photos in my phone. I never delete them. Like 15 photos of the same thing, and I don't know. It's just nice to have that, and then you can, you know, sort within those, go back to them, store. Just
make as much content as possible, never delete it. And there you go. Got a good storage plan.
My
truly.
My regret is not finishing something in the first place, though. Like is for something to remain unfinished for too long. Yeah. Because those, and I guess I'm particularly, like, it's like certain songs, certain like work files and stuff. Yeah. A lot of my lost stuff is not necessarily lost. I have it. It's unfinished. And it's been so long, I can't jump back into it. Yeah. I can't finish that song. It's only half done. And not only do I don't feel like finishing it emotionally, even if I tried, it would be with a completely different state of mind. And I wouldn't be able to capture that moment anymore. It's already gone.
Yeah.
So a lot of my songs that are like lost are just half finished. Like, you know, like they're on a hard drive somewhere, but I'm like that. I wouldn't record that song today. But I think it's a great idea, but I just never finished it. So it's one verse of something that leads nowhere, or one chorus of something that I didn't polish up ever. But I'll just like send them to Jake and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, here's an idea.
He's a third of a song.
Yeah.
Something that could almost be an incredible concept album is what you just said, something that leads nowhere, and it's just an album of all of your half-finished
Half-finished songs. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, just release them as stems. Be like,
yeah.
There you go.
do something
Yeah.
with these.
Yeah.
Something that
You
leads
finish
nowhere.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you finish it.
Yeah.
SoundCloud rappers. Yeah.
Please.
That would be good.
Go horse
That's
head,
a
another thing to
genius
fucking
idea.
sample. Does Fox Academy get sampled ever in lo-fi? You know, because the
Sometimes.
term lo-fi doesn't belong to us anymore. It got taken away forcefully.
It belongs to studying and relaxing.
Yes.
Now.
Which I
Oh.
respect.
Yeah,
And
it's
But we are still gatekeeping it, though.
we needed beats to study and relax to, so that's cool.
Yeah. The world needed beats to study and relax too.
Obviously they did,
And
because
chill,
Yeah.
too.
nothing
Yeah.
ever like blew up that hard ever. So lo-fi doesn't really belong to us anymore, but it still is a thing we were a part of in the early days of Tumblr. But because of that, you know, is there anybody notable that's like sampled Fox Academy in a song, like that you know of?
No.
Huh? Mine,
Just trying to get you to admit that.
no one, huh?
A flex.
Interesting.
sucks.
Well,
Yeah.
that's not my experience.
I didn't know that. I like researched it a lot before the podcast. That's odd. Because for me, it's Horsehead. He sampled Flat Sound. Give me no credit.
Ecstasy.
Ecstasy.
Ecstasy did give you credit.
He had to give me credit. He got signed, and then his label was like,
Oh
uh-oh.
yeah, he didn't in the first place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, then he's labeled it. Yeah.
He sampled I Exist. Horsehead sampled You Wrote Don't Forget. And I've heard some others. They're never good. They're just not good at all.
Yeah.
They're lazy. How about that?
Oh my god.
There needs to be more done to them.
He's going for it. He's out for blood.
Chop and screw it a little more. Why don't
Horsehead
you?
would have been okay if he didn't put like a Bright Eyes Melody on top of it. That was just insulting. It was just like, fuck, what the fuck? That sucks.
Lua, wasn't it?
Yes, exactly. It was
my gosh.
Lua.
You've got to sample your own song and make
Yeah.
what.
Why don't you
what
sample a
should-
Fox Academy song, Mitch?
I could.
Mitch has sampled his own
Yeah.
songs
Yeah, I have.
and
It's
wishing
true.
songs.
I have.
I know that.
And it works great. It's not that hard, guys. I got a lot of stuff to choose from.
Yeah,
But,
Mitch needs to revive his old like MySpace Juggalo rap project.
Never
Absolutely.
fucking juggalo
Yes,
about that
yes.
rap project, but
Was that not?
no.
Why not?
My original rap group with Jordan was Juggalo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had a joke MySpace one that had nothing to do with being a Juggalo.
Okay, well,
unfortunately.
I'm talking about the original.
Nefarious.
Nefarious. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You need to revive that and then make some
Sound
good
epic.
samples.
I wouldn't revive that for $1 million. Yeah, I'm good on that.
Okay. You want another question?
What's the time? Are we?
It's 8:00.
1 hour, 14 minutes.
We're over. We're way over.
Doesn't matter.
I think it's good though.
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's
fine.
better. It
Yeah.
should be like an extended release.
I think so.
podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's answer a couple more. Because
Okay.
I got a few days to do this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This one's called Hobbies Outside of the Internet from July 2016. Hey, Christian and Mitch. Hope you guys are doing well. Without trying to sound like a relatable teen, I spend too much time on the internet, mostly on YouTube. I do enjoy drawing, but that's about it. I don't have any interest in most activities I've tried. Even art infuriates me easily. I was wondering if you guys have any tips on spending less time on the internet and developing skills and hobbies in real life. I hope this made sense. Sad soul.
Answering this differently than we would have in our early to mid 20s.
Well, in 2016, did you have any hobbies outside of the internet?
No, I hardly do now.
Yeah.
No. That's funny. I'm trying to think back to like who I was then. And I'm looking at like my agoraphobia too, because in 2016 I was aggressively agoraphobic, right? Like could not. I stayed on the same property that I lived on for 8 years. And this was during that time that we had the podcast and I did a lot of flat sound. And now it's a bit better, and I've moved, and I've had some like big life events happen. I've gotten married and all that stuff, and it's still something that I struggle with, but it's going pretty good. And I often think about like, what if I had a hobby? You know?
What if?
Yeah.
What kind of hobby?
I don't care. You know,
Oh.
anything.
Give me an example.
Making pillows, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. Kayaking.
Pottery.
That's a good one.
Going to like a class.
I think you have the hands for it.
I do have the hands for it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you have the
Delicate,
heart
nimble.
for it.
I do have the heart for it. I do have the heart and the hands for it.
Yeah.
Any other questions for what I have for it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
keep
gumption.
going.
Moxie.
Do you have the moxie for
The balls.
Oh.
I would like to... It sucks because music is like the biggest hobby, you know?
Yeah.
It's my hobby's my profession, and it's all very online. What if you just took that hobby and I like started playing shows? And then it's an outside of the house hobby. But then
Yes.
it's a career. And then it's a flex?
And then I'm swag?
Yeah.
And then it's a vibe.
Yeah.
I like the idea of you looking at like doing shows as a hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a
Little thing on the
Saying
side.
that on stage. This is a hobby to
Yeah.
me.
as exposure therapy,
Yeah.
play a show.
Yeah.
It's
I think that would
it's
be
dope.
great.
It's
Yeah.
really cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's neat.
Exposure therapy is a hobby.
Honestly. Yeah.
Fox Academy shows, are they happening?
No.
Good. That's
Yeah.
good.
They were.
They were.
Yeah, we've
They
done
were
a
for a
few.
bit, yeah. Mhm.
I don't think either of us really love playing shows, but we want to do like one-offs in the future. Like
I love
one.
one-offs.
Yeah.
for sure. Tours just sound awful. Tours just sound awful. But like that's how most artists make like all of their money.
It is.
Is they sign all of their digital away to a label, and then in order to make money, they have to like tour and sell merch. We're pretty lucky. So when like given the option, it's like, yeah, I'd rather not, right?
Yeah.
rather not do that.
Seems like really hard work.
Yeah, it seems like really
Seems
grueling,
tiring.
awful.
Uh-huh.
It seems like a grueling and awful way to travel. I think I could get into shows though.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you would be good at them. I think
Yeah.
partially I don't like them because I'm not very good at playing instruments and I
Not
don't really
true.
like performing.
And that's like the main two things.
But they are fun and
And
special
being-
in their own way, and I have liked them.
My favorite fun Fox Academy fact though is that you guys did almost go on a small tour with Waves.
Whoa, is that
Which
so?
I'm glad that didn't happen.
Oh.
Not because of Waves, because of
Tour.
the
Because of
disasters
tour.
Yeah.
that would have happened on stage. The booze, the
No.
tomatoes, all that.
All coming from
classic
me.
Stuff.
Yeah, it's so funny that you're like, I'm just not very good at like playing instruments or like performing, so shows are not my forte.
But that's the thing is, I
Also have
love
a
the
phobia
idea of
of
being able
stages.
to just, not have to play shows, being lucky to do that. Because I love hobbies. I always I've been, I'm always so excited to do things. And a lot of times more excited to do them than I don't actually end up more,
Doing them.
Yeah, I get very inspired to do things. A lot of times don't follow through, sometimes do. But yeah, and especially outside of the internet, even just like physical media, like watching DVDs, whatever, listening to tapes, records, which is people do this stuff, but I don't know, it's nice to consume media outside of the computer.
Yeah.
And
Feels a bit more purposeful. Yeah.
yeah, it
when
feels
you-
like you're actually doing something productive for some reason.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I would say just what are you excited about? It's either what, like, break down what makes you excited in life, or try as much as possible until something sticks, or I don't know, maybe you're just not in the headspace to be able to grasp and enjoy, find what you are passionate about or enjoy as a hobby.
Yeah. Because you used to be very like visible online, obviously, as
Yeah.
like a YouTuber, and you know, you had social media and websites and stuff, but you're not as like conspicuous now. But do you still spend a lot of time online?
In a way, I watch a lot of YouTube. I listen to podcasts a lot, but I'm not really on social media much. No,
Yeah.
I don't really look at it.
Yeah.
I like Reddit. I like NBA, NFL Reddit.
That rules.
Certain
Yeah.
certain subreddits
Little
that I'm
corners of the
interested in.
internet.
Yeah, and I like being on Reddit actually because it feels so detached from social media. It just feels like you're reading.
More like a
Yeah.
forum or something.
Yeah, I like it. It's like a really comfortable feeling to me. But I had a time where I was more active on the internet because I had never like gotten like attention in life before that, and then I got a lot at once, and then I was like, oh, actually I don't really like this that much. So I kind of gradually just like, I just didn't really like being online.
Yeah.
And attention in large doses.
Yeah.
And it's nice. And I feel lucky to be in the position of being able to just create and, put it on
people on
Spotify
it.
and then
Right,
be able
yeah.
to live or whatever. And I've had jobs and stuff too throughout, but yeah, I don't know. I was thinking about something and I forgot. Oh, yeah, Mitch and I even were talking about like we got so excited about like making websites and having a place to post where you don't know how many people are seeing it or interacting with it, and you're just posting things that you want to post, not for any, it just feels fun and exciting to me to do that.
Yeah, you're
more
just kind
so.
of curating your own little space rather than taking part in the larger space of a social media kind of thing, I guess.
Other than-
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels more like MySpace.
I guess.
Yeah.
My own space. My
it's-
space.
Yeah. MySpace.
Yeah.
I've spent the last few years or more in this wrestling match with social media where I'm trying to like justify why it's good, but also just hope that it gets destroyed somehow so we can all stop using it. And websites are great for that because there is something really cool about having a website to me. I love people being able to go to flatsound.org and just like
Plug.
get information.
Yeah.
Listen to albums on there. They stream for free.
Yeah, it's like a hub.
Yeah. And social media changed our brains in a big, big way because you started posting for the sake of getting those likes. You wanted it to be viewed a lot. You wanted some response, some validation for that. And I was really into that for a long time. And it's still something like it helped me a lot in the past. I needed that validation for a long time. And the validation really helps too, like when it comes to your music and stuff. It helps you really appreciate your own work. I've put up songs that I was convinced it's not that I hated them. I was like, there's nothing special about this. I mean, I like it. I guess I did like it. I liked it at some point. I don't know how I feel about it. And I put it up on like SoundCloud or something, or it goes up on the album or something, or I just it's on my website and it gets a whole ton of comments from people who are like, this rules. I love this song so much. And I'm like, yeah, it rules. I love this song so much. I love
you're
this.
right.
Yeah, this song actually is incredible. And it comes from other people saying like, wow, I really like this song. It's like, oh, thank you. I guess I like it too now.
Yeah.
Because I did like it originally, and now I like it all over again. But when you take away all of the idea of something going viral, the likes, the validation and stuff, and you're just kind of releasing stuff, whether it's songs or content or art or pictures or something like that, it does feel very cathartic and good to be so archival about
Yeah.
your own life and to document it all.
Yeah.
And that to me is part of like the human experience. It's part of the reason that I make songs, that I write songs, you know, because at the end of the day, like I don't know what I would do if my stuff was like reviewed a lot. I think I would read all the reviews and I would just agree with every single person. I would just be like, yeah, it's incredible. No, you're right, it sucked. You know, like it would. But when I'm creating the songs, it's 100% for me. It's just like I'm just trying to get something out in a way that I think this is like really honest or really cool sounding or really dope. It makes me very, very excited. And I do that every single time now. Mixing that with too much social media though only broke my brain. It was only bad.
Yeah.
And it was only unhealthy. So yeah, websites are
Yeah,
very, very
and-
cool.
That's a very motivating thing to me, is just kind of leaving behind, or even just while living, building a catalog of work and separate work and, you know, photos, memories, things that are special and beautiful to me. I don't know. And that can, I view life in that way too, of kind of just collecting as many memories, like outside of creating art, just like being able to think, wow, I went here, I did this, I learned how to do this, I cooked this, I ate this. I don't know, just kind of building up a portfolio of a life helps me feel like more fulfilled, I guess.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would really love to get into blogging because I'm very archival. Like my hard drives on my computer are like meticulously organized. I know where everything
and just
is.
full of shit that you'll never post.
I never delete anything. Whether it's like personal phone pictures or it's like, you know, DSLR stuff or film stuff. I keep everything. I know where everything is, but I have posting anxiety that is very much just an extension of like social anxiety, where I'm just it's exactly the same feeling as like walking into a crowded room.
Yeah.
Is posting on the internet for me. So I'm like, no, it has to be similarly to why I would be like, oh, you know, my hair and makeup has to be perfect. I'm like, my post has to be perfect, and then I don't post. And it's very, I had a blog on my website for like a minute, but it was the same thing where I would like sketch myself out too much about it. So I was like, no, it isn't perfect, and then I just wouldn't do it for like a year.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas ideally it should be a lot more casual and natural than that, you know. But I really like the idea of it. If I could be less of a freak in my brain about it.
Yeah, I love archival stuff like that. On top of my blog, which I need to write in more, but I've written a lot in it, and it posts and songs and a whole bunch of stuff. Even for a while, like I'm always trying to like recapture some magic that I felt on social media, you know, when I was younger. I have a pretty active ask page on my site now that is, you know, it pulls directly from Tumblr, where you can get anonymous questions and answer them and stuff, and I missed that.
Yeah.
And that's cool, and that rules. I like that still. That's really kind of, you know, scratching an itch that I had for a long time. But one of them too, when I was like veering away from Twitter, I created something on my website that was it was just like microblogging. It was like Twitter for me. I would pull out my phone, I'd post something. I forgot how I even did it. It was so easy. Oh yeah,
You had it attached to a Tumblr via an RSS feed,
and then I revised it.
and then you revised it.
I revised it to just be like a password protected page on my own website.
Oh yeah,
where
yeah.
only I can post, and then it would show up on the home screen of my the homepage of my site.
Yeah.
And it would just be like little micro updates, you know, throughout the day. The one thing that I didn't like about that is that because it was on flatsound.org, it felt wrong to be funny on there. And that's mostly why I tweeted. That's mostly why I tweeted.
Yeah.
Is half of them I was just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that's not for that, is it? It's not just, I'm not just going to shitpost on my website, am I? Fuck.
You can do whatever you want. It's your website.
I could,
but
but it just didn't feel right.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
It wasn't the same as just like making a funny tweet.
Yeah.
Because for me, I was like, to me, Twitter is dead. I deleted my Twitter. I don't go on it.
Yeah.
it's gone. And I was trying to recreate that, and I was like, I almost did it. It felt the same, except for the fact that it's on flatsound.org, and I shouldn't just be shitposting on the homepage on there. Why would I do that? I can't just like do a bit on here.
That's why you have a podcast.
Honestly,
There we go.
It's just a
honestly,
podcast
yeah.
now.
Mitch needs like some way to vent his shit posts.
I have
yeah.
a couple
now
discords and
it's
a
this.
podcast.
Yeah.
And that's it. Yeah.
He's got to get the funny jokes out so he can create
I
beautiful
have
sad
to.
music.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There's a balance. There's a balance in that.
That would be the perfect ending, and that's why we have this.
All the
Thank you
space
for
in
listening.
That
What's
is
the
a
time
perfect
now?
ending. On the recording?
Yeah.
An hour and a half.
Oh.
We cut it an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We
That's
can
good
cut
enough.
this beautiful episode. What's
yeah.
up?
Can I say something? Of course.
I can't hear myself, so sorry if it sounds funny.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that I like really enjoyed this episode. Like
Oh.
this is a
Oh,
really
thank
you.
good one.
Like listening live.
yeah, it felt
Yeah.
really like to the point where I might actually listen to it again. Like,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Please.
so
it
much.
was really good, and this is such a good podcast. Oh, you guys are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Oh,
thank
yeah,
you.
thank
Thank you so much.
If you could like go to the Apple podcast and then like type that in the
Yeah,
review
yeah, into
section,
the review.
yeah, give us 5 stars.
And then
you really
I
mean
actually
it.
broke my
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Also, would it kill you to just repost the show sometimes? Would be cool.
I forgot to do it to my millions of followers. last
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Sorry.
I noticed that.
I'll do it. I'll do it this time.
Yeah, I'm also gonna post it to my millions of followers.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yes.
It's appreciated.
This
Biggest
has
blessing and stamp of approval.
been a very long episode of All the Space in Between. My name's Mitch.
My name is Billy.
My name is Amanda.
My name is Christian.
Woohoo!
Oh yeah.
Adorable episode of the podcast. Thank you guys so much. If you guys like the episode and you think other people might like the episode as well, please do me a solid. Just fucking tell them. Just
Yeah.
tell other people about
So
the show.
true.
We love the organic growth, and we love when new people write in and new people are listening. We love being told that we did a good job on this very little podcast of ours. We are on Apple Music. We are on Spotify. We are
No, we're not
every-
on Apple Music.
Sorry. We are on...
All right,
Give
we
me
gotta
one.
re-record.
What are we?
So,
Let's
Hit
name
stop.
everything we're not on. We're not on Anchor.
no, we're not, we're not on Anchor. Yeah, we missed actually a great email that we could have... I think we could have been like
big
ambassadors
break.
for that fucking thing. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify.
Yeah.
And soon to be, we're in a... Well, you guys call this a very beautiful set.
Yeah.
I
I
would call it
would.
that. I would say that,
I
and I did
would.
say that.
It's
Or maybe I didn't. The
This
whole
is-
the whole
I
house
did.
is a beauty.
I woke up this morning and I said, "Wow, that wall is so great."
She did say
Thank
that.
you. Yeah, Christian and Amanda slept in our new podcast set.
yeah, because it's also...
With the mic set up and everything. It was kind of weird, actually.
But it sounded great. It sounded so good.
And you guys were testing video too, right?
Yeah, we were. Speaking
It's
of
a
video...
good wall. There's a lot of good things on the wall.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's incredible in here.
Do you think by the time we do the next episode we'll be on
Cozy.
video?
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Let's fucking do it then.
Warm.
Yeah.
That's two cool things. We got Christian and Amanda on the show this episode. The very next episode we're gonna be on video. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Cool.
I'm set. I'm
You're
going.
gonna go.
Tune in, folks.
Tune in, folks. Tune in next time.
So we're on Apple.
Yeah.
We're on Apple
Yeah.
Podcasts.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on YouTube. It's gonna be filmed. It's all gonna be great. But we do have a very beautiful, minimal and convenient website.
Yeah, speaking of great
yes,
websites.
yes.
Yes.
And our website is.
allthespaceinbetween.com. And although, we did have a blast reading emails from 2016, if you weren't one of the people that emailed Sad Soul in 2016, why did I say it like that?
Schedule.
Edit that out.
No.
Keep it in.
If you weren't someone who emailed Sad Soul in 2016 and you would like a question answered, good news. We answer questions on this show all the time.
Every damn week.
You can email us. Our email is
All the space in between at gmail.com. Again,
Yeah.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Christian.
it's been a joy to have you on.
Thank you,
for
John.
having us.
It's me, and I'm here. Hello.
Yeah. New episodes every Monday. Thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.